Hello and welcome back, audience. My name is MassiveBrad and welcome back to my FIFA 19 One Season Wonder. Now, before we get into today's episode, I just want to say a huge big thank you for the love and support on the channel. And as always, guys, at the start of these episodes, we're quickly going to recap on the previous. But before we look at the previous episode games, which of course there was 6 of them, I quickly want to talk to you guys. I'm just going to sit down for a minute, have a little chat with you, and I would appreciate if all of you could just stay for this few minutes just to hear me out and hopefully help me out as well. Basically, guys, starting this One Season Wonder, if I'm completely honest, it hasn't turned out exactly how I would have liked. If I'm completely honest, the editing's taken a lot longer to do, the episodes are a lot longer, and it's becoming very difficult. As you guys know, I don't do YouTube for a living. It's not my 24-hour-a-day job. Otherwise, I wouldn't have a problem doing long episodes and editing if it was my job, because I'd have the time to do it. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because episode 4, when I sat down and dragged the clip or that recorded episode into the editing software, it was 2 hours 12 minutes, which means at a minimum I have to listen and watch through 2 hours 12 minutes. Bearing in mind, I still have to cut that down. So there might be bits that are cut, and then I have to go back and re-listen to it, make sure it sounds okay, make sure I've done the right highlights. But the last episode took me 3 hours. Now, that's completely fine if I had 3 hours a day to do the edits. You guys will have realised that going back a week ago, I was smashing out the Ajax and the Liverpool career mode nearly every single day. And what I found with the One Season Wonder is I can't do that, because the way my plan is, guys, and this is how it normally works, after my tea around 7, 8, maybe even 9 p.m, every night, I sit down to record. So like last night, I sat down at 8 p.m. to record. I recorded till just after 10 past 10. So 2 hours, 10 minutes. I haven't then got time that night to edit the video. So what I tend to do is the next day on my lunchtime, I start editing the video. The problem is I normally can only edit, the only free time I get on my lunch is around 40 minutes. So I'll edit for 40 minutes and then I'll save it. And then I come in the next night, and I come in from work and I have my tea, and then I need to edit. But the problem is I also need to record. So if I do an hour's worth of editing, normally I can get a Liverpool or Ajax Road to Glory video done, and then I can get it rendering and I can record the next episode. The problem is, though, is I've done 40 minutes of episode 4 of this One Season Wonder. I still then had another hour and a half to go till it was done. So I spent an hour on it. Then I had to spend another half an hour to get it finished. And by the time I had done all that, we were talking like 8:30, 8:45 at night. And then if I'm going to record again for another 2.5 hours or 2 hours, it's going to be 11 o'clock, possibly even 11:30 at night. And it starts getting very, very difficult. So the reason I'm telling you this at the start of today's episode, guys, is because I need your help. I need to work out how I can make this series better. I hyped this series and said it's going to be one of the best series on the channel. And I just feel like playing a month every single episode is great, but it does take up a lot of time. I feel like the editing, yes, I'm getting to try different editing techniques. I'm putting, pictures overlaying the screen. I'm putting rules up on the screen. I'm doing all these different effects. I'm doing it zooming in. I'm having a lot of fun with the editing side. So don't think for 1 minute I'm not enjoying the editing, because I am. That's the whole point of this series. I want to try out the different editing techniques and have a bit more fun, because it's not a serious career mode like the Liverpool and Ajax was. But I just want you guys to let me know some opinions. And I left straw polls in episode 4 asking you guys, are you enjoying this new series? Should I change it up? Should I just do goals? Do you want goals and highlights? Do you want, what do you want in the highlights? And the reason I ask that is because sometimes we could have 8 shots on target and I'm putting all those highlights in, but from those 8 shots we only score 1 goal, and it's like, well, do you guys need to see all those highlights? Could I just put the goals in? But I need your help to kind of better this series, because if I'm honest, that last episode, it didn't get me down as such, but I'm just sat there, and when it starts rendering out, you got to remember, guys, if it's an hour's long, which I think the last episode was 51 minutes, it's going to take like nearly 2 hours to render. Then it's going to take me an hour to upload to YouTube. The whole process is taking a long time, so I'm just wondering, I know obviously we get a lot more in the episodes, we're going to get through the season a lot more. That's not the issue. I'm just asking you guys, have you got any ideas of how I can make this series better? Should I maybe not do a month and just do half a month? But then I like the idea of doing a whole month because we get through the series a lot quicker. What do you guys think? Because you were the ones at home watching it, and for me, it's just, if it keeps happening, I also don't know if it's the fact that because we're losing or not losing, we haven't lost the game, but we're drawing games. And I think that was maybe because after the first episode, Lee kindly said about, oh, Brad, do constant pressure. But then when I get to the 50th, 60th minute in the game, the team's dead and there's not much I can do energy-wise. And then the game against, who was it against? Was it Cardiff or Huddersfield or someone? They went and scored late on into the game in like the 90th minute. He just outrun our defenders. There was nothing we could do. And they brought it back to 2-2 and we drew. But I just thought I'd talk to you guys because I'd rather talk to you and tell you where I'm at with this series. I'm not one of these people that'll be like, oh, I'm not enjoying it, I'm going to cancel it. Hands up, I'm not enjoying it right now, guys. I don't know if it's because the episodes are so long. We've just come out the transfer window, so episode 5 and 6 will really show me how long these videos are going to be, how long they're going to take to edit. But obviously, when we're talking transfers, episode 4, we had like 20-25 minutes at the start of the episode just doing transfers and buying players. We're now out the transfer window. Maybe it'll be a little bit different, but I don't know if it's the whole time because I'm annoyed at myself that I can't get one of these videos out every day to you guys. I don't know if it's the fact that we're, drawing so many games and I'm just not playing well. I don't know if it's because I'm not used to playing with Manchester City and I'm not comfortable and confident with where the positive and negatives around the team are, where the weak links are that I need to improve. What's the best way to score goals? Do I get in behind? Do I put crosses in? I don't know if it's just a new series and I've got a little bit of like writer's block and I'm just, how I plan the series is just not going to plan right now. But today's episode, guys, I'm going to change things up a little bit and you'll see just in a minute. I'm just trying to do different things to see if I enjoy it myself a little bit more. Now, at the start of the episodes, we normally recap on the previous episode. And obviously, every episode now, we play a whole month. So we will be looking over the month of September. But instead of just sitting here and talking to you guys, we're actually going to go to the calendar, just something a little bit different. We're going to go back into the month of September and we're going to go down the list and look through the games. So the 6 games that we did play in the month of September and episode 4 was Newcastle, Fulham, Lyon, Cardiff, Forest Green, was it? I think it was Forest Green and Brighton. So if we go down the list now, we can discuss, the score, if we won, drawn, lost, and what went right and what went wrong. But realistically, the game against Newcastle, you can see we beat them 4-1. We were at home. We simulated that game. And I was very, very happy with the result. Realistically, it's 4-1. It's 3 points in the Premier League. And we should be beating Newcastle. And of course, that was a simulated game. Moving down to the Fulham game, it was another simulated game. And we beat Fulham 3-1. So very happy with that result again. And we simulated another home game. As we come over to the Lyon game, we absolutely killed off Lyon. I even have to show you guys that we're still playing on Legendary just because the highlights in the first half, we killed them off. We played absolutely unbelievable football and we managed to beat Lyon 2-1. Unfortunately, they did get an away goal, but we are going to be travelling to play Lyon. Is it next month? Let's have a little look. Oh no, we're in the group stages, aren't we? We're not playing them till we've played the other teams, and away goals I don't think count in the group stages. I think when you go into the group stage, just the top 2 teams go through. So I don't know why I said that. But anyway, and then the next game was against Cardiff. And that was the game that we played. We played Lyon, we played Cardiff, we played Brighton, and we simulated the game against Forest Green. But Cardiff, we played so well. But again, that was the game where 90th minute, our defenders were so tired, they turned off. Cardiff players run through, and it was 2-2. And that's the annoying thing. And maybe we're going to look at changing that up in today's episode. Maybe we'll have a look at a few different options. But then again, we came up next against Forest Green Rovers in the Carabao Cup. We drew 1-1 after 90 minutes and then beat them, luckily enough, 5-4 on penalties. But you'd think Forest Green Rovers against Manchester City, we played the A/B/C team. And we still only managed a 1-1 draw after 90 minutes. Luckily enough, we did do well on our penalties, but that should not be happening. And then the final game in the previous episode was against Brighton, and it was the same sort of result. We played the game, and we drew 1-1. Manchester City should not, the team that they have in the squad, should not be drawing against Brighton 1-1. It shouldn't be happening. And that's why I'm hoping in today's episode we can change that up as we go into the month of October. Now, of course, you have to remember, in the previous episode, we only had 5 games. We had the game against Hoffenheim, Liverpool, Burnley, Shakhtar Donetsk, and Spurs. But because we beat Forest Green and went through to the next stage of the Carabao Cup, we now also have Fleetwood in there. So the plan for today's episode is we're going to play the game against Hoffenheim, we're going to play the game against Liverpool, and we're going to play the game against Shakhtar Donetsk, which means the 3 games we're going to simulate in today's episode is going to be Burnley in the Premier League, Spurs in the Premier League, and Fleetwood in the Carabao Cup. I've decided the Carabao Cup is not that much of an important cup for us. We want to make sure we either win the FA Cup, the Premier League or the Champions League. So the Carabao Cup, I'm happy to simulate. If we get knocked out, I'm really not fussed because I'd rather it not be there right now so we can just have 5 games and concentrate more on the league and the Champions League. But they are the 6 games in today's episode, guys. And before we get into this first game against Hoffenheim, because of course I am going to play it, they currently won their last one against Shakhtar Donetsk. We beat Olympic Lyon, so we're both currently sat on 3 points. If we can beat them, we'll go up to 6. They'll stay on 3, and we will have grown a little bit of a gap, regardless of what happens between Lyon and Shakhtar Donetsk. This is the lineup we are putting out against Hoffenheim. We've got Sane out on the left wing, Aguero at striker, Mahrez out on the right wing, David Silva linking up with De Bruyne in the central midfield role, Partey in the central defensive midfield, and then Mendy, Laporte, Kompany and Danilo at the back, with Ederson between the sticks. Now, you guys might know, I can't remember if I left it in the video, but we've had a bit of a nasty injury. Danilo has just come back. He's fit in one day, but we've got to play him because in training, Kyle Walker picked up an injury and is out for 5 months. He's broke his tibia, if that's how you pronounce it. 5 months. That is an absolute nightmare. Now, luckily enough for us, we're already into October. So then we're going to be October, November, December. So in 3 months' time, so in 3 episodes, we'll be going into the January transfer window. I'm going to have a little look at our funds because we are definitely going to need to buy a new right back. Maybe not such a big right back. Maybe just a kind of backup to help out Danilo for now till Kyle Walker's back. But we can't risk, excuse me, I got the hiccups, Danilo playing on his own at right back. That could be a serious problem. So we've now got to look at bringing someone in for Kyle Walker. If we just have a little look at the funds, yeah, 56 million. If we put, let's say, a 100k wage budget in there, 100k, yeah, in fact, we can go a little bit more. If we leave ourselves with 50, yeah, 143 in the wage budget and 50 million in the transfer budget. We definitely need to bring our right back in, especially now because we've still got the rest of the season. Even when we get into January, we're only halfway through the season and we still need to be pushing for definitely the top 4, if not to potentially win the Premier League. What I'm also going to do, it's going to be a little bit of a risk, but I'm going to test it. Last episode, I changed our defensive style to balanced instead of constant pressure. Now, I was saying that Lee mentioned go on constant pressure, and it did seem to work. We scored quite a few goals. But I feel like the team is absolutely KO'd by the end of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to play this last game, potentially, against Hoffenheim on constant pressure. If it doesn't work and we're absolutely knackered, then I'm going to change it to just press after possession loss. So once we lose the ball, then we will press for the ball. When we win it back, we will stop pressing. Because otherwise, constant pressure, we're constantly pressing if we have the ball or if we don't. And that's a little bit of a worry. And I think that's why we're getting so tired. So I'm going to leave it on constant pressure for one last time against Hoffenheim. Then I'm going to change it up to press after possession loss because we were unbalanced in the previous episode, and by half time, all of our squad was still green and still had 60 to 70% fitness, which was a lot more than what we had when we had constant pressure because it was down to like 30 to 40%. So let's put it back on constant pressure. Let's save it there. And let's see what happens when we play Hoffenheim and see if the team does get absolutely ruined because we've got Danilo, De Bruyne and Laporte who aren't fully fit. And we also have Danilo with an injury, so we'll have to be careful there. But we are going to get into this game now against Hoffenheim. Let me know, guys, if you've just liked the start of today's episode. Maybe me going to the calendar and talking you guys through the games is a little bit better. Maybe be talking nice and quick. And, you know, obviously, the next episode, I won't be expressing the issues that I'm having and how I'm feeling right now. Obviously, I've just done that at the start of today's episode, and I appreciate everyone that has probably just listened to that. I honestly do appreciate it, guys, because you have to remember, I record this series, but I'm recording it for you guys, and if I feel like it's not good enough and I don't feel like it's up to my standards and you guys aren't enjoying it and it's not up to your standards, then we need to talk amongst each other. You guys can talk in the comment section. You can come up, you can leave comments and talk to me, and we can work out what can make this series better. But right now, we've got to get into this Champions League game against Hoffenheim and hopefully bag another 3 points and go top of our group. Right, let's get in the mood, let's cheer up, and let's make this episode a good one. We need to bounce back, and I need to get myself back into this series because the last episode knocked me big time. Like I said, the amount of time it took to edit, to record, to upload, it annoys me because I want to be getting content out for you guys every day, if not every other day. And it just makes it very difficult when I'm recording for 2 hours, editing for 3 hours, and then uploading for an hour. It's 6 hours a day to get a video done. and I just do not have 6 hours a day. I've told you guys that I have a full-time job. I've also just started a brand new business, which is taking up a lot of time. I had to take a week away from YouTube to work on the business, and I'm also trying to do YouTube and, you know, maybe one day turn it into a job, maybe one day just, you know, keep it as a hobby like it is now. I love playing FIFA, I love gaming, and I'm lucky enough to have people like you guys at home that enjoy watching the content, and that's why it's important to me to make it as, you know, entertaining as possible. But it is going to be Hoffenheim to kick us off in this first half. Let's get it underway. Laporte over now to Danilo. Danilo inside to Party, and then up to KDB. And here's Aguero now, round to KDB, trying to push on. And we're going to pick that up now with Danilo. Into KDB. KDB laying it off now to David Silva. Back into KDB, hitting the first time! It's 1-0 after 3 minutes. Now, I'm not going to get too excited because this happens a lot. We're on constant pressure. We're great going forwards. KDB is going to be top goal scorer this year in the Premier League, without a doubt. I know this is a Champions League goal, but he's scored in every episode, and he's just left foot, right foot. It's absolutely wicked, the power and accuracy he can get on his shots. And after just 3-4 minutes, we're already 1-0 up against Hoffenheim. Let's go, Danilo. Ball into the middle. Let's get their company. Nicely done. Played over straight into that feet of Wilson. What are we doing here, Manchester City? Let's sort it out. KDB. Party. Company. Round now to Silva. Silva moving on. Let's go inside now to Aguero. Round to KDB. Get away from Mahrez to get in behind. Tucking Mahrez in now from KDB. Let's pull this back. Mahrez laying it off now to Aguero. It's 2-0. Now, this is great. Don't get me wrong. You might be thinking, Brad, hold on. You said you were winning games. You were drawing so many. That's great. We're 2-0 after 25 minutes. We've done this before. But it's what happens in the second half when our team is all on their deathbed and they've got no energy whatsoever. But a great start, and we're 2-0 up against Hoffenheim. I can't really argue right now. And Sane's going to pick that one up. Let's go inside now. Party back out now to Sane. Sane coming forwards in plenty of space. Here comes Leroy Sane onto that left foot. Oh, beautiful. It's 3-0. Now I think to myself, constant pressure, score 4 or 5 goals in the first half, and then even though in the second half we might be dying out, is the opposition going to come back from being 4 or 5-0 down? But beautiful goal there from Sane. Takes it on his stronger left foot outside of the boot and bends it between the defenders and past the keeper. It shouldn't really happen for the keeper there. There's a defender in front of him, so his line of sight wasn't the best. But I mean, 3-0. I'm still not comfortable and ready for this second half, regardless of us being 3-0 up. Here's Mendy. Let's go back to the keeper. There's no pressure here, lads. No pressure whatsoever. And there we go. As we pass it round between our defenders and keeper, the referee is going to blow for half-time. Now, this is where we look at the squad. And if the squad is all less, or the majority of the squad is less than 50% fit, then we've got a problem. And, I mean, realistically, it's not as bad as it has been. But Sane's about 60%, Aguero's 50, Mahrez is about 55, KDB's 50, Silva's 50, Danilo's about 50, Party, Laporte, Company, Mendy, not too bad right now. Now maybe what I could do is, maybe going forwards, I could then go into the team and then change the tactic now to just balance, because realistically we've done a job. But I'm going to leave it on constant pressure right now. The only player I'm going to take off is going to be Silva, and it's going to be for Gundogan. And I think I'm happy to jump back into the second half. I think what I'm also going to do, guys, may as well tell you this now. If this game against Hoffenheim, I'm going to leave the normal like I would. So decent shots, decent, you know, if we score. I'm going to leave highlights that I think need to be highlighted in this episode. And then the game against Liverpool, I'm just going to leave goals in it. If there's no goals, then I'll show a couple of highlights. But if we score a few goals, I'm just going to leave goals in. And I would appreciate if you guys could let me know, did you prefer the game against Hoffenheim, where there's shots on target, shots over the bar and goals, or do you prefer just goals? Maybe that's another option I can look at doing if I was to just include goals that we score. But let's go ahead and get into the second half against Hoffenheim. 3-0 up. I think if we go 4-0 up early on, I think I can start to relax. But for now, I certainly won't relax after still being 3-0 up. Through to Aguero. Aguero hits nice and low. And it's just wide of goal. Let's close this down. Careful, Danilo. Don't let him get in behind. Nicely done there, Party. And you're giving it straight away to Callum Wilson. Don't be doing that. Don't give it away that easy. We're looking a lot tired in the second half. Oh. And it begins. The second half, Demon. I mean, there's nothing I can take away from that shot. Absolutely incredible goal. We were tired, we were sluggish, and it showed. Look at that.
Calmness of it, technique, brilliant.
That is a beautiful goal and well deserved. And Vilena, well done, son. Good goal. Hopefully, it's not going to be pulled back to 3-3 like previous games have in the previous episodes. Laying it off now to Mahrez. Mahrez going to cut back onto that left foot. Looks to bend one. Oh, come on, sorry. Head that down. Nicely done. Here's Gundogan. KDB. Onto that right foot. Benny at KDB. Yes, there we go. It's 4-1. Well, I'll celebrate with that one now because we needed it to go to 4-1. So I can potentially breathe. But you know what? Even scoring 4, I still don't think I can breathe and relax, which seems shocking because in the Ajax Road to Glory and the Liverpool career mode, if we scored 4 and it's 4-1, by now I'd be saying that's the last nail in the coffin and it's game over. But it just never feels it because we've gone 2-0 up and then drew 2-2. We've drew 1-1 to Forest Green, we've drew 1-1 to Brighton. And Company is going to come away with that ball played up to Danilo and then up to Silva, and let's push on now with Bernardo Silva inside to Party over to Gundogan. I'm going to wait for the run now of Mendy. Mendy's tired, but I'm going to try and get him in behind. And I tell you what, we're going to have Mahrez at the back post. Mahrez brings it down. It's 5-1. That's game over now. Now I will say it. It's game over now. Hoffenheim fans will definitely be leaving, even if we are to tear it off and let 2 or 3 goals in. We've scored 5 now. And that was a beautiful ball. Let's not take anything away there from Benjamin Mendy, who lofts a beautiful ball in. I can see Mahrez coming into the back post. There's no left back there marking him. He brings it down and on his left foot he goes near post. 5-1. Well, that has cheered me up quite a lot. And I'm looking forward to the rest of this episode. To Jesus, going through now to Silva, and Jesus has passed the ball and given it away. Let's win that with Company. Come on, let's get there, lads. Oh, and that's a problem. Locked it in behind now. They're in behind now. Here comes Kramrak sliding in, and it's in the back of the net. 5-2. See, it's like I've just got to accept the goals that they score now, even if it goes to 5-4. I've just got to accept it. Look how slow the defenders are.
It's a good angle from him as well, but it's in the back of the net.
Through to Gundogan. Play it through now to Jesus. Jesus through on goal, and it's a big save from Bowman, who denies in the 90th minute. Can we score with Thomas Partey to make this 6-2? Ball in. Thomas Partey's going to head it backwards to Bernardo Silva, who takes it on the volley, and it's out for another corner. Let's go for Thomas Partey again. Nice little ball in. Thomas Partey, great position with there, and no one else was there. Thomas Partey missed it. Sane picks that one up, and the referee is going to blow for full time. So, what I will take away from that game against Hoffenheim is, well, constant pressure worked. So, Lee, I do not take that away from you. I did say it wasn't working. There's ways that it does work, and there's ways that it doesn't. I think if we score 3 or 4 goals in the first half, then great, constant pressure works, because even if we let in 1, 2, even 3 goals, we've made up for that in the first 50, 60 minutes by putting, 5 or 6 past the opposition. The issue is if we don't put 5 or 6 past the opposition and we've only put 1 past them, let's say we were going in there at half-time 1-0 up, Hoffenheim would have just beat us potentially 2-1. And that is the difficult thing that I have to make the decision on. Hoffenheim having 5 shots, 5 on target, very consistent. We had 16 shots, 12 on target. Again, very happy with the amount of shots on target. Happy with the amount of shots. We played very well. So now, do I stick with it against Liverpool and see if it works again? I think not. I think I'm going to change it to the whole constant pressure when we lose possession. See how that works out. And then if it doesn't work out too well, we may well just have to switch between constant possession, or constant pressure, sorry, and pressure when we lose the ball, and balance them. We'll just have to work out what works best for me. But realistically, 3 points against Hoffenheim, beat them 5-2. Couldn't ask for anything more other than trying to keep a clean sheet. But great result. And here we are, all advanced, ready to face off against Liverpool. We are travelling to Anfield, so it's going to be a big game. And of course, Liverpool and Manchester City in real life are challenging and in a race for that top position in the Premier League. I am a Liverpool fan, but I'm not a bitter. At the end of the day, I'm at Manchester City. Of course, we want the win. We want the 3 points. Liverpool, without a doubt, are going to turn up. They're currently sat in second position on 14. We're down in fourth position on 13. There's only a point in it, and I'm sure Klopp is going to be putting out a very strong side against ourselves. But this is the lineup we are putting out against Liverpool. We've got Sterling out on the left wing, Jesus at striker, Dembele out on the right wing. Silva linking up with Silva in the midfield. A little deeper, we've got Fernandinho in the central defensive midfield. And then Albert, Otamendi, Stones and Danilo at the back. With, of course, Ederson between the sticks. You can see Danilo. We've got no one else that can play right back. We're just going to have to hope he can hang on in there. Because realistically, what other options have I got? Maybe I can always move Stones over to right back and bring in Company in the middle. Or I can bring in Laporte when he's fit. But Danilo is the main right back and the only right back we have right now. So that's what we have to do. Maybe I can put Mendy out on the right back and Albert on the left back. But then Albert will get tired and we'll have to bring Zinchenko in. It's very difficult right now, especially because in the two career modes that I've done this year in FIFA 19, the Ajax Road to Glory and the Liverpool career mode, we didn't have a serious injury that put someone out for a long time. I think Van Dijk was the biggest injury I've had. Touch wood, because obviously we will be continuing either the Liverpool career mode or the Ajax Road to Glory. But touch wood, the serious injury I had come from the Liverpool career mode, and that was Van Dijk out for 4 weeks. I have also changed that. I'll show you guys here. The tactic is now press after possession. So instead of constant pressure, constantly trying to get the ball, we're just going for, we're going to press and try and get the ball. If we give it away and lose it, we're going to try and crowd the player and try and win it back if possible. So press after possession, and we'll see how the team does on that. See if it looks as tired. And if it does, then we'll play the third game on balance, and you guys can let me know which game you think was the best. The only difference is in this Liverpool game, I'm only going to be leaving highlights in of the goals. That's just something that I want to try out, because I've asked you guys, do you want highlights where it's, you know, decent shots and goals? Do you want close chances, decent shots and goals? Or do you want just, well, goals? So I've decided that last match against Hoffenheim, I'm going to just edit like I normally would. The game against Liverpool, I'm just going to leave goals in. If there's no goals scored and it ended 0-0, I'll just put highlights in. But for now, I'm just going to aim to put either Manchester City or Liverpool goals in, depending who scores. And I've just noticed the player on the left is Hector Bellerin. They must have bought him at right back. Oh yeah, because they sold Trent to Arsenal. But fingers crossed, we've travelled to Anfield. We're here to pick up the 3 points, regardless of me being a Liverpool fan in real life. This is just a game. I have to put my real life opinions and thoughts and feelings aside, and we've got a job to do here at Anfield, and that is to bag those very important 3 points. Well, I'm sure the nerves around the Manchester City team are going to be massive, because Anfield is not, I repeat, not, regardless of me being a Liverpool fan, it's not factual an easy stadium to come to and take points away with. The atmosphere at Anfield, the fans that get behind the Liverpool players is crazy.
Hi there everyone, Martin Tyler here.
The noise,
we're at Anfield today for
just everything about it, the fans, the manager Jurgen Klopp's running up and down the touchline, throwing his fist in the air. It's one of them, it's always going to be a difficult place to come to. And I just hope, wow, Klopp has given Virgil van Dijk the captain's armband. Henderson doesn't have it. We've got Alisson in the net, we've got Bellerin, Matip's there, Robertson, Fabinho, Naby Keita, Gino Wijnaldum, and who are going to be the front three? We've got Firmino, we've got Salah, and we've got, wow, Woodburn, Mane, I'm guessing has either been sold or is on the bench, but Bobby Firmino is going to be the man to kick us off in this first half period. Let's get it underway. And here comes Naby Keita over to Mo Salah. Naby Keita, got to be careful of Mo Salah wanting to get in behind. Here comes Bellerin now. Ball into the middle to Bobby Firmino. Here's Salah. Let's get in there, lads. Don't let him put a ball in. Let's deal with that Danilo. It comes to Bobby Firmino, and it's 1-0 Liverpool.
It's the start of the scoring, and Liverpool have done it.
Well, I told you guys I'm only putting goals in this game. And if I was putting highlights, you guys would be asking now, how are we not 4-0 up? We've absolutely been all over Liverpool like a rash. And a simple ball in, Danilo doesn't do well enough to clear it. And then he heads it towards the penalty spot where Bobby Firmino was lurking. Jumps above Bernardo Silva. And heads that one into the top right and out of the reach of Alisson. We are 1-0 down to Liverpool. And we certainly shouldn't be. Fabinho in the middle of the park, playing it over to Gino Wijnaldum. Plays it through and we're going to intercept that one. Fernandinho now round to Bernardo Silva. Playing it through now to Jesus. David Silva. David Silva laying off to Jesus, who's going to hit it first time, takes a deflection, and it's onto the roof of the net. We have got a corner right on half time. Can we do something with it? Come on, Danilo, do something with this ball. Ball in, Danilo heads it out only as far as Alba. Alba comes forwards now, and as we try and look running at the defenders, the referee is going to blow for half time. I'm absolutely gutted, and I may well have changed my mind, guys, about just leaving the goals in this episode, because if you guys have only seen one highlight and that's Bobby Firmino's goal, then I'm sticking to the goals. But realistically, we've had so many highlights and so many chances. Look at the stats. 1 shot, 1 on target, 1 goal for Liverpool. We've had 8 shots, 5 on target, no goals. We've had 59% of the ball as well. 59% possession. You guys don't understand. We've absolutely smashed it. And apart from Silva and Danilo, I have to say, we've still got a lot of energy left in the tank. So I am going to take Silva off and bring on Phil Foden. I'm then going to bring on Mendy to play in Danilo's place, because we have to keep Danilo rested because he's our only right back now. Now Mendy is playing out of position. He can only play left back. But you know what? We'll give it a whirl and we'll try him on that right side with Dembele. We don't have much of a choice, but it is going to be Jesus to kick us off in the second half. Let's hope we can find a goal, otherwise we're going to be in some serious trouble. Silva to Dembele. Dembele takes a touch and Robertson was all over that one. And we're going to win it back now. And Dembele could potentially have the better of Robertson here with still a lot of pace in the tank. Here comes Dembele. Dembele looks to dance. Referee! He's definitely caught him there, and it's straight to the spot. Well, 65th minute, I try and cut in with a beautiful bit of skill there from Dembele. Robertson slid in. I would say, I'd like to see that from a different angle. I would like to probably say, is that key to Lallana? It is. I'd like to say that was potentially outside the box. I think I may well look at making a change myself now. So I think I'm going to go. You know what? I was going to bring Aguero on for Jesus, but I don't think I am. I think I'm going to Gundogan for Fernandinho. And I think I'm going to go Sane for Sterling. Oh, I'm out of subs. Why is that? Oh, yeah. Foden, Gundogan. Who else did I bring on? Oh, and Mendy at right back. Of course I did. Stupid Brad. And we've got a penalty.
Well, now they're behind.
And Jesus is the man stepping up for it. Fernandinho off, Gundogan on. Jesus to bring it back to level terms. Jesus really needs to slot this one home for us. Jesus! It's denied. Uh-oh. And Liverpool are in behind here. Beautiful ball in once again. Jordi Alba was there. Sterling. Over now to Dembele. Dembele up. And gives it away as we try and play it into Jesus. And Liverpool have literally, I don't know how, but masterclassed us. Considering the amount of shots we have had, I am shocked. As the referee now blows for full time at Anfield, we've lost 1-0. And wait until you see these stats. Jurgen Klopp must definitely know how lucky he got there. So lucky. I was going to say look at those stats. The stats don't look so great anymore, but certainly being the one holding the controller and playing the game, I felt like we dominated Liverpool. And I'm really not sure whether you guys will have seen one highlight of the Liverpool goal, or you'd have seen highlights of all the chances we had. I think for that Liverpool game, just because only one goal was scored, I think I probably will have left all the highlights in, and you will have seen how many shots and how close we come to scoring past Alisson and the Liverpool defence. But on the day, it just wasn't meant to be. And after that very, I cannot say very enough times, disappointing result against Liverpool. I mean, yeah, Liverpool, what can I say? They did get lucky on the day, even as a Liverpool fan. Playing that game, it at least should have been 1-1 as a draw, or at least we should have got a draw, if not won, because I just felt like we dominated Liverpool on the day. But unfortunately, that's football, and on the day, you may have 20 shots, all 20 on target. The opposition might have 1 shot, 1 on target. They put theirs in the back of the net. And your 20 shots on target simply don't end up in the back of the net. That is football. And unfortunately, that now means we are down to 7th position. We are 1 point behind Burnley, which is the team that we are playing next in the Premier League. And this is the lineup we are putting out against them. We've got Leroy Sané out on the left wing, Gabriel Jesus at striker, Dembele out on the right wing, Silva linking up with the other Silva in the central midfield. A little deeper, we've got Fernandinho in the central defensive midfield, and then Alba, Company, Stones and Danilo at the back, with Ederson between the sticks. We are going to be simulating this game, so just to clarify again, guys, we're simulating the Burnley game, we're playing the Shakhtar Donetsk game, we're then simulating the Spurs game, and simulating the Fleetwood game in the Carabao Cup. Depending on how the group stage is looking right now, if Shakhtar maybe drew their last game against, who did we play? Hoffenheim. So we had Hoffenheim, Shakhtar Donetsk. Who's the other team? Oh, Lyon. We beat Lyon, didn't we? If Shakhtar Donetsk have drew against Lyon, I'll probably simulate that game and then play the game against Spurs. But right now, we've got this game against Burnley to simulate. So let's hope we can pick up a 3 points. And right now, I feel like we've got more chance of picking 3 points up in the Premier League by simulating games over me actually playing them, because things just aren't going to plan. But players warming up and we are kicked off. And after just 2 minutes, Leroy Sané has put us 1-0 up against Burnley. 20 minutes gone and still nothing. Loughton picks up a card in the 23rd minute, only a yellow. Jesus scores in the 34th minute, fast approaching half-time, and we're into the second half. Silva, I'm not sure which Silva that is, has scored in the 47th to put us 3-0 up against Burnley. We've had a few substitutes, De Bruyne coming on for Silva, Crouch for Barnes, Laporte for Company, and Sané bags himself a second in the 80th minute. And then we do go on after the referee blows his whistle at the 90th minute to beat Burnley 4-0. See, what a result that is. We keep a clean sheet and we score 4 goals. Why can't I do that when I played a game? I just played against Liverpool and lost 1-0. But you know what? We move on from that. We've played Burnley. We've beat them 4-0. Jesus gets on the score sheet. Silva gets on the score sheet. And Leroy Sané also gets on the score sheet. And I've now advanced all the way to the Shakhtar Donetsk game in the Champions League. We are currently top of our group with 6 points. We've played Lyon and we've played Hoffenheim and beat both of them. Hopefully we can get the treble and beat all 3 times, or all 3 teams first time round. And then of course we have to play them again. This time if we were away, we're going to be at home. And if we were at home, we will be away. So looking forward to that. But this is the lineup we are putting out against Shakhtar. We've got Sterling out on the left wing, Aguero at striker, Dembele out on the right wing, De Bruyne linking up with Bernardo Silva in the central midfield role. A little deeper, we've got Fernandinho in the central defensive midfield, and then Albert, Laporte, Stones and Danilo at the back with Ederson between the sticks. We're just going to get straight into this, guys. Now, I was going to try out balanced for the tactic, but I've decided I'm going to stay on the pressure after we lose the ball. I feel like that's what we just done against Liverpool, and it didn't go too well. If we struggle again against Shakhtar Donetsk, then I'm probably going to have to look at going back to constant pressure, and we'll just have to work it out and kind of figure out what we're going to do in the second half when our players are looking a little bit worse for wear. But let's get into this game against Shakhtar Donetsk. We need another important 3 points, and hopefully we can potentially finish today's episode top of our Champions League group. Well, we had a great game against Hoffenheim. Disappointing game against Liverpool. Can we turn up against Shakhtar Donetsk? Now, funny enough, we killed Hoffenheim by having it on constant pressure, but then they did score 2 passes because we were tired at the back and turned off. We then lost 1-0 to Liverpool, and we were on after we lose possession we press, and we're leaving it on that tactic against Shakhtar Donetsk. So if we draw or lose to Shakhtar Donetsk, the whole press when we lose the ball clearly is not the one that we need and doesn't work for us, and we will have to just try out the different options and variants to see which one works perfect for us. But it is going to be Shakhtar Donetsk to kick us off in this first half period. Let's get it underway. Let's see what damage we can do. Into Dembele. Dembele with a little bit of skill. Tries to drop the shoulder and get round his man. He can't. Danilo's got to keep going here. Laporte's got to get across now. Nicely done. And Danilo's going to pick that one up. And let's push on now, lads. Let's push on, push on, push on. Beautiful ball in now to Aguero, who's taken out. And surely that's going to be a red card. Surely that has got to be a red card. Aguero is through on goal here. What a ball from Danilo, first of all. But Aguero is through on goal. Surely he's got to be reaching for the back pocket. And he does. It's a red card right on half time. I understand why the Shakhtar Donetsk player done it. Because Aguero's otherwise through there one-on-one with the keeper. And we now still have to potentially score from this, whether we can. There's only one man that can potentially put this one home, and it's going to be KDB. KDB over the wall and into the back of the net. Over the wall! Oh, it's off the post and no one's there to follow up. Win that header. Nicely done. Dembele across the face of goal. How has nobody got to that ball? Absolutely unbelievable. Here's Sterling. Whips the ball in now for Dembele at the back post. Cleared away. Let's try and play this back. Head it back. Nicely done. And it's going to be blown for half time as Bernardo Silva heads it back towards the feet of Laporte. Well, that is an absolute shocking. Absolute shocking. It's still 0-0. Match fact-wise, 7 shots, only one of them being on target from KDB. Absolutely shocking. We've had more possession. It's just not working for us. It's like if we don't go on constant pressure, we just can't get the job done, and that is a little bit of a worry. But it's only halfway. We've got another half up next. It is going to be Aguero to kick us off in the second half period. Let's get it underway. And let's look for that first important goal. Aguero over to Silva. Silva picks it up. De Bruyne looks at slotting. Albert in behind. Albert, a little bit of a heavy touch there. Manages to get a ball in. Aguero, is he going to be able to head it on? He's not. Dembele going for the acrobatic, but it's straight into the keeper's hands. Silva on the inside to Dembele. Dembele over to Sterling. Sterling on his right foot looks to bend one. And finally, Raheem Sterling has scored for Manchester City in the 71st minute. It's about time. It is about time. And we're going to intercept that now with Fernandinho. Let's play it through now to Jordi Alba. Jordi Alba going to cut this back and go into Sterling. Let's be calm here at the back, lads. Flick it over now to Mahrez. Mahrez on the volley! Oh, what a strike from Riyad Mahrez.
Well, he's kept his team in the game. Simple as that.
How have we not scored? That was a beautiful ball there. Through to Mahrez. I think that may have been the newly substituted young man, Phil Foden, in the middle, who lofted that ball over the top for Riyad Mahrez to run onto. And we have got a corner from it, and I am going to look for John Stones. Let's see what we can do. Ball in. Great position here for John Stones. It's cleared away. Fernandinho takes it down. Fernandinho looks to flick it on, and it's straight into the keeper's hands. Let's go, Mendy. Nicely done. Play it over now to Fernandinho. KDB. KDB over the top now, looking for Aguero. Aguero in behind. Aguero on the volley. It's 2-0. Well, I'm glad we got that second goal, because that is definitely the last nail in the coffin. Considering Shakhtar Donetsk have only got 10 players on the pitch, with one of their defenders being sent off. It took us a while, but the Man City fans are now singing Sergio, 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 as he scores to put us 2-0 up against Shakhtar. Well, it come very late on. Both goals did. Sterling in the 71st, Aguero in the 90th. No, he's left it. He's going to hit it instead. No, he's going to lay it off. Someone get in the way of it. Foden gets it, clears it away, and the referee is going to blow for full time. We've beaten Shakhtar Donetsk 2-0, and I feel like we're starting to get into our groove. I feel like I'm starting to understand Manchester City a little bit more, how they play. I've got to do the lofted passes over the top from KDB to David Silva, Bernardo Silva over the top, looking at getting Raheem, Mahrez, Dembele, Aguero, Jesus. I've got to look at getting them in behind the defenders. Because if they get one-on-one with a keeper, 9 out of 10 times they will punish them. And that was definitely a better game. 14 shots, 6 on target, 53% possession. Raheem Sterling picking up man of the match with a 9.2 rated. So well and truly deserved. He played his absolute heart out. And we beat Shakhtar Donetsk 2-0 and bagging over 3 points in our Champions League group, which has now puts us on 9 points. And have now advanced, done all the emails, done all the player development to get us all the way to the 28th of October, where we are about to travel away and face off against Spurs. Just want to throw this in the video, guys. We had an email off the Manchester City board with the subject, great work. And it says, "Hi Brad, just wants to thank you for helping the club reach one of its brand exposure goals that we set out to accomplish this season. We wanted to earn at least £176 million from shirt sales this season, and we couldn't have done it without you. Keep up the good work, the board of directors." To hit £176 million in shirt sales, I'm pretty sure that has helped out with the likes of Dembele, Albert and Partey joining Manchester City. I'm sure a lot of fans would have wanted their name on the back of the shirt. But hopefully, I'm keeping my fingers crossed that we can end today's episode in the top 4. We currently find ourselves in 8th position. 1 point only behind Spurs, who are currently in 5th. We've only played 9 games. Watford, Everton and West Ham, the 3 teams around us, have played their 10th game. We're about to play Spurs, or more the fact we're going to simulate the game against Spurs. And we could really do with the win to take us up to 19 points. And if we did get 19 points, where would that potentially put us? Maybe 3rd or 4th, depending on how Bournemouth United get on. But 3rd or 4th to put us back into a Champions League spot would be absolutely unbelievable. Liverpool are 7 wins, 2 draws, 1 loss after 10, 23 points. We are 4 wins, 4 draws. We've had far too many draws already and 1 loss. But you know what, guys? We said this series was going to be a brand new challenge. That's why I said about we've got to play a whole month. I can only play half of the games that are in that month to make it a bit more of a challenge and put me on my toes. And that is exactly what this series is doing. So we've got Spurs up next on the 28th. And then I do believe, we've got Fleetwood in the Carabao Cup on the 31st of October. So we're simulating both of these final 2 games. We played the Hoffenheim game, we played the Liverpool game, and we played the Shakhtar Donetsk game. We've simulated the Burnley game. We've now got to simulate the Spurs and Fleetwood game, and then that will do it for today's episode. But this is the lineup we are putting out against Spurs. We've got Raheem Sterling out on the left wing, Aguero at striker, Mahrez out on the right wing, David Silva linking up with De Bruyne in the central midfield role. A little deeper, we've got Fernandinho in the central defensive midfield, and then Albert, Laporte, Stones and Danilo at the back, with, of course, Ederson between the sticks. Let's go ahead and get into this game. Let's start the simulation. Players warming up. Let's get it going. Come on, referee blows his whistle and we are kicked off, approaching the 10th minute. 10 minutes in, nothing has happened. Approaching 20 minutes and Mahrez has scored in the 18th minute to give us a 1-0 lead over Spurs. Kane has scored back to take it back to 1-1 and level terms in the 29th minute. We're now into the second half. Otamendi has come on for Stones. De Bruyne has scored in the 54th minute to put us back in the lead. And there we go. De Bruyne has scored a second to put us 3-1 up. And surely coming into the 80th minute, Kane has just scored a penalty in the 79th. Come on! Yes! And we managed to hold on in there. Well, that was a difficult one. It was going so fast I couldn't even keep up with it. We had Mahrez score and put us 1-0 up. Then Kane scored moments later. De Bruyne scored in the second half in the 54th minute and put us 2-1 up. De Bruyne scored again in the 63rd and put us 3-1 up. And then Kane scored a penalty in the 79th minute to take it to 3-2. But the important thing is we bagged the 3 points and we actually win an away game. The last thing you ever want to do is simulate away games. I've just simulated one, and although it was close, we did manage to beat Spurs 3-2. What a great result, and what an important 3 points we've just bagged. And have now advanced all the way to the game against Fleetwood. We are at home for this one, and it is the round 4 of the Carabao Cup. I've changed up the team quite a lot because realistically I'm not that fussed if we get knocked out of the Carabao Cup. It's not an important one for me, and the only thing it's doing right now is being a little bit of a pain in the bum by throwing an extra game in every single month, because when we start the FA Cup and we get deep into the Champions League, we could potentially have 7 or 8 games just in 1 month, which would make it very difficult for me to include all that in one episode. But that is unfortunately what we have to do because of the rules. But this is the lineup we are putting out against Fleetwood. We got Sane out on the left wing, Jesus at striker, Dembele out on the right wing, Foden linking up with Bernardo Silva in the central midfield role, Thomas Partey in the central defensive midfield a little deeper, and then Zinchenko, Company, Stones and Mendy at the back, with of course Ederson between the sticks. I'm playing Mendy out on that right back because we need to make sure we're rotating Danilo as much as we can, because he is our only right back player at current time. Obviously, we've got Kyle Walker, who is out for probably around, well, it's just been another month in today's episode, so we've got around another 4 months until he's back. We're definitely going to have to look at bringing a right back in, I would have thought, in January when the transfer window opens, and maybe also another centre-back with a little bit more pace. But let's go ahead and get the players warmed up against Fleetwood. It's a big one, so let's get it kicked off, and the referee has blown his whistle. 10 minutes in and nothing has happened. Stones has scored in the 14th minute to put us 1-0 up against Fleetwood. 30 minutes in, nothing else has happened since then. Taylor picks up a yellow card in the 33rd minute. Half-time fast approaching, and within a minute of the second half kicking off, Dembele has scored. Aguero one for Jesus. Dembele scored a second and now on for his hat-trick after scoring in the 63rd minute. Mendy picks up a yellow card. Wallace picks up an injury. Fernandinho's on for Silva, and the referee blows after 90 minutes. We've beaten Fleetwood 3-0 thanks to John Stones and Dembele scoring a brace, and luckily enough for us, it means that we're now through to the next stages of the Carabao Cup. Liverpool also beat Sunderland. Bobby Firmino scored in the 6th and Salah in the 71st. We are back into a Champions League position. Now, guys, if you are still listening at this point and you did not listen to the first, I would say 6 or 7 minutes at the start of today's episode because you've skipped it just to watch the gameplay, I would really, really and highly appreciate if you guys could go back and listen, because I said at the start of today's episode, this series for me, it just hasn't blown up and been as exciting as I would have liked. I haven't enjoyed recording it as much and editing it as much. I have to say, after finishing today's episode, I do feel a lot more happier. Maybe it was because we've done so well in the Liverpool career mode and the Ajax road to glory, coming into this and simulating games and, you know, drawing easy games like against Cardiff. Maybe I just wasn't used to having so much of a challenge on my hands because I was playing every game in the Ajax and Liverpool career modes. I was playing it, so it was kind of like if we were to lose, it was in the fate of me because I was controlling every game. Whereas some of the games in this series is obviously getting simulated and it's out of my hands. I'm just not sure why I'm not as happy with it. And maybe you guys might be sitting at home thinking, Brad, what are you on about? This is an unbelievable series. I'm loving it. Everyone else is loving it. It's just you. There's something just not right with you. Maybe it's the editing, maybe it's the length of the editing, maybe it's the length of the videos. But I would appreciate if you could give me your opinion down below, whether you're enjoying it, whether you're not too sure about it, whether you think something needs to be changed, whether you think that the videos are too long, whether they're too short. But I just thought I'd appreciate if you guys could give me some feedback. If you think there's bits that I should be cutting out, maybe you don't want to see every highlight, maybe you just want to see goals, let me know. If you think me reading the team out every single time, but then I think reading the team out to you guys is important because then you know the lineup that we're playing against the opposition. I just think a little bit of feedback, and maybe if you guys know any ways of improving it or how you think we can make the videos a little, or especially this series a little bit better, then I'd appreciate if you could go and watch the first 10 minutes or so at the start of today's episode and leave me some feedback down below. But before we end today's episode, let's jump over to the office and read some emails. Benjamin Mendy has suffered a concussion and is out for 4 days. I'm glad it is only 4 days. I've seen training injury. Honestly, we've had 3 training injuries. Danilo, Kyle Walker and Benjamin Mendy. Danilo was out for a week. Walker was out for 5 months. And Mendy's now out for 4 days. What is going on at the training ground for Manchester City for all these players to be getting so badly injured? I never had this at all in the Liverpool career mode or the Ajax road to glory. So wow, look at all those games, and I don't know how we're going to manage here. Hoffenheim, 2 days break, Everton. Watford, 2 days break, Palace. Leicester, 2 days break, Southampton. That is a lot of games. EA seriously need to fix the game congestion, because that, guys, look at that. It's just ridiculous. I don't know how I'm going to keep a team fresh there. And considering 9 games and the only right back we've got right now is Danilo, we are seriously going to struggle. But I think November is a much better month. Only 5 games. We're only going to play 2. We're going to simulate 3. Play the Shakhtar Donetsk game. Play the United game. Simulate the other 3. Hopefully, episode 6 should be nice and straightforward. But that is going to do it for today's episode, guys. And if you have enjoyed it, please do give it a big thumbs up for me. Don't forget to drop your comments down below if you're new around here. Click that subscribe button. Don't forget to share this video with your friends and family. And I've been Massive Brad. Peace out.